The topic for today is even if the enemy did it, God allowed it. Why? Thank you, Jesus. Be honest that this message from today, it stemmed from the tragedy that took place on yesterday, day before yesterday, with American Airlines Flight 5342 that had 64 passengers on it. So I cannot lie. I was in a space of where I needed to seek the kingdom for understanding and clarity. And this is the word it is that he gave me. And through obedience, I have to share this word with you. Today, we're going to read from Job, first chapter, 8th through 12th verse. Backtracking to flight 5342, 63 passengers. I go and I look at the noise of the world after this happened. There were people that were speaking from a space of this was an intentional crash. Some from the space of Trump has only been president X amount of days and look what is happening. Some from the space of what was that helicopter pilot doing, where they missed the part that they were supposed to grab from the lesson, from the visual, from the picture that was just presented in front of them. That even though if Satan is at work, then God allowed it. Why? There are so many things that you can take from what happened with Flight 5342. Come on, we're going somewhere. One of the things that sticks to us closely is that they were about to land. Phone calls were being made. I'm about to exit. Because I've done this time and time and time again, I know that once I'm about to get ready to land, go ahead and start calling my ride. I'm going to go ahead and start getting things together. I'm about to be off in the presence of loved ones. I'm about to stretch my legs. I'm getting ready to continue with life as usual. Come on. We're going somewhere. Stay with me. But yet and still, in a blink of an eye, everything changed, and it happened in a way where the whole world was able to witness. And when people looked at it, they looked at it in a form of the noise instead of looking at it. Lord, why did you allow something such as this? Come on. Because if God allows it, then he says, I'm going to be able to use it. I'm not going to allow anything that I cannot use. Come on. God says this is going to be somebody's light bulb moment. Come on. Life can be taken from a blink of an eye. On this aircraft, you had children, you had parents, you had professors, you had great pilots. But at the ending of the day, the only thing that mattered was believer or non-believer. Come on. You can call it what you want to call it, but at the ending of the day, when your card is pulled, we're all going to find out. God reminded us at this moment, no longer put off today for tomorrow. Don't put off this second for the next second. Don't put off this hour for the next hour, because your life that you once knew can be taken at the blink of an eye. And the only thing that would matter is if you were a believer or if you were not a believer. God says, I need you to look at this thing deeper than the noise of this world. I don't need you to be worried about the distractions of this world, being angry with people that is around it. I need you not to let these 64 passengers' life be in vain and allow their death to help you live a life for a believer. Lord, if I did not know you before now, I'm going to get to know you, because just like that, my life can be over. My God, today, the reality is, and this is a truth, this is a light bulb moment. The enemy looks day and night seeking for somebody to devour. But the enemy can't put his hands on you without God allowing it. But if God allows such tragedy, why would you allow it? And then even if you allow such tragedy, Why would you allow it for the world to be able to see? God says, I'm trying to get somebody's attention. I want somebody to turn away from their way and to turn to my way. I'm looking for somebody to give me a yes in this season. I'm asking for somebody to cry out and say, Lord, what must I do to be saved? Come on. God says, my plans are higher than your plans. And at the ending of the day, it does not matter what title it is that the world has given you. Whether if you are a mother or a father, a child, a girl or a boy, a pilot, a professor, at the ending of the day, the only title that goes away with you is if you are a believer or if you are not a believer. My heart breaks for this flight and for the family that was sitting waiting on their children to exit that aircraft. But there's a level of peace that each family member has that they know where their children are going to be. Come on. Where my loved one is going to be. Come on. Where my best friend is going to be. That even though your life on this side has ended, I will see you again one day, because that is the promises for the believer. To know that your child, your husband, your wife, life was used to get somebody else's attention, to turn from their ways and to turn to the only way. My God. God says, if I allow the enemy to do anything, don't discredit ever who I am. All power remains in my hand. The enemy cannot do anything without my permission. But don't you get caught up in the noise. If there's anything that happened that you don't understand, if there's anything that happens that hurts you, come on. God says, don't look to the noise. I need you to look to me. If you want to know why I allowed it, look to me. If you want to know what's coming after this, look to me. If you want to know where your strength come from, look for me. If you want to know how to get up after this, look to me. Because at the ending of the day, the only title that matters in this realm is believer and non-believer. So I encourage you on this day, on this amazing day, to ask yourself, if my life was taken at the blink of an eye, if that was me on that aircraft instead of them, how would my story read? What side of the fence would I be on? Did life get better for me after this? Or is it simply a tragedy? Come on. God says, I need you to get you together. And the only way that you can get you together is through me. It's not about you. It's not about the things it is that you have here in this earth realm. It is about you building a relationship with your Father. And it's okay if you say, Lord, I've never known you. I don't even know where to start with you. But I live in such a time where I'm looking at things that I've never seen before. And because you've allowed me to witness it, I show up at your feet asking for the why. I lift my voice asking you to save me. And I stand on the fact of understanding that even if the enemy did it, you, my Father, allowed it.